Chapter 7, Traditional Media Channels. Overview. If a tree falls in the forest and no one is present, does it make a sound? This philosophical question has been posed for many years and even recently appeared in a Geico insurance commercial. Unfortunately, in the world of advertising, far too many trees fall as unheard and unseen advertisements. Successful marketing involves identifying target markets and finding the media that reach the members of those markets. Once the advertising team identifies the right media, creatives can design clever, memorable, exciting, and persuasive advertisements. When an advertising campaign succeeds, it may not only reach customers in traditional ways, television, magazines, and radio, but in the new world of digital media, it will be passed along and shared via the internet and in other ways. Woo, more candy.
That went real well with the whole sentence.
In 2013, Oreo cookies celebrated their 100th birthday. In honor of the event, the Virginia-based Martin Agency created the Wonder-Filled Oreos campaign. Using animation, the campaign was driven by the theme, Celebrate the Kid Inside. Television commercials served as the anchor for the campaign. They were combined with print advertising. Oreo-themed events took place across the country in print advertisements and were supported by a strong social media presence. A special music piece was performed by the group Chitty Bang to pull the events together, called the Wonder-Filled Anthem. Adweek magazine labeled the music a branded pop song cover. Sam Thielman from Adweek noted, the loose-limbed Adventure Time animation seems to be getting a lot of traction with viewers on YouTube. At least one commenter proclaimed the original version the only YouTube ad that I'll sit through. The musical television campaign included commercials suggesting that eating Oreos will make bad things good, such as a vampire wanting milk to go with the cookies rather than stalking another victim. Another ad implies that Oreos would cause a shark to make friends with a baby seal and squid. Oreo's advertising team then adapted the commercials to individual markets in other countries, creating an entertaining and international campaign that gained significant traction in the world of social media. Traditional media continue to play the important role in developing and fully integrating a marketing program. This chapter explains the various traditional media channels. It begins with an analysis of the media strategy as well as media planning processes. Next, common advertising terms are explained, followed by an examination of advertising objectives. These processes lead to media choices and selection targeted to specific consumers, businesses, and customers in other countries. Advertising agencies design a campaign within the framework of the overall integrated marketing communications program. Client companies depend on effective advertisements to attract customers and entice them into purchasing various goods and services. This helps build the firm's image and creates a larger customer base. Advertising media selection remains an important element in the process. A media strategy involves analyzing and choosing media for an advertising and marketing campaign. The average consumer examines only 9 of more than 200 consumer magazines on the market. A radio listener usually tunes in to only 3 of the stations available in an area. Television viewers on average watch fewer than 8 of the stations available via cable or satellite. Network primetime ratings have declined by more than 30% over the last decade. Consequently, choosing the optimal media to speak to potential customers creates challenges. To make the account executive and media buyers' jobs more difficult, prices for advertising time and space have risen. Client budgets for advertising have not gone up as quickly. Even as stronger demands for results and accountability emerge. The marketing team faces difficulties in locating cost-effective media outlets. After developing a media strategy, other aspects of media selection can proceed. Media planning. Media planning commences with an analysis of the target market. It involves understanding the processes customers use in making purchases and what influences their final decisions. One method of addressing media planning starts with the study of the media choices that members of a specific defined target market might make at different times during the course of a day. Details of the type shown in Figure 7.1 become valuable when developing a media strategy. Demographics, such as age, sex, income, and education, do not explain the media habits of consumers. Information about the listening and viewing patterns of groups helps the marketing team design appealing messages. These can then be shown at the best times and in the best places. No two media plans are alike. The components of a media plan include the elements identified in Figure 7.2. A marketing analysis provides a comprehensive review of the marketing program. It includes a statement about current sales, current market share, and prime prospects to the solicited by demographics, lifestyle, geographic location, or product usage. These elements should reflect a compatible pricing strategy based on the product, its benefits, and distinguishing characteristics, and an analysis of the competitive environment. An advertising analysis states that the primary advertising strategy and budget to be used to achieve advertising objectives. The media strategy spells out the media to be used in the creative considerations. The media schedule notes when ads will appear in individual vehicles. The justification and summary outlines the measure of goal achievement. It also explains the rationale for each media choice. Several individuals take part in media planning. In addition to account executives, account planners, and creatives, most agencies utilize media planners and media buyers. In smaller agencies, the media planner and media buyer may be the same person. In larger companies, they are usually different individuals. Some agencies employ media firms to handle media planning and buying or hiring a subsidiary agency. The media planner formulates a media program stating where and when to place ads. Media planners work closely with creatives, account executives, account planners, agencies, and media buyers. The creative should know which media will be used to help design effective messages. Creatives construct television ads in different ways than for radio or newspaper. Media planners provide valuable services and are in high demand. The issue of accountability for advertising results combined with the need to create a return on investment The issue of accountability for advertising results, combined with the need to create a return on investment on marketing dollars, has led the media buying side of an agency to hold greater power. Media planning has an impact on strategic planning. Marketing experts at companies such as Procter & Gamble and Unilever consider media planning to be at the heart of a communication strategy. In both companies, setting brand priorities and objectives constitutes the first step. The task media buyers in this environment undertake, according to Carl Fremont of the media services company Digitas, will be to integrate marketing messages across a range of media, and sometimes this involves working with several agencies to accomplish the client's goals. Because the dog grew up. The media planner conducts research to help match the product with the market and media. If JD Bank's executives decide to run a print campaign directed to farmers who may need loans for tractors, the media planner researches the best media to place the ads. The media planner matches the target market with the venues that farmers would most likely watch or view. The media planner gathers information about various media. This includes newspaper and magazine circulation rates along with the characteristics of those who read them. The audience for a television show may be different from those of a radio station or a magazine. Quality research improves the chances of selecting the appropriate media. After the media are chosen, the media buyer purchases the space and negotiates rates, times, and schedules for the ads. Media buyers remain in contact with the media sales representatives. They know a great deal about rates and schedules. Media buyers watch for special deals and tie-ins between media outlets. Example given: radio with television, magazines with the same owner, etc. Placement in a television show or magazine continues to be an important consideration, both in terms of price and effectiveness. Recently, the Pink Jacket creative advertising agency purchased magazine space for the Snoring Center, consisting of the outer sides of adjacent pages containing an article. The slender ads on the edges of the two pages bracketed the article. As individuals read the article, they first noticed the ad on the left side of the article and the second half on the right side as they held the magazine open. The cost of the ad space was lower, and it turned out to be more effective in conveying the two-part message. Some research indicates that little connection exists between the size of an advertising firm and the prices it can negotiate. Differences in media costs are based on the time of the actual purchase, closer to the day the ad is to run, rather than the size of the agency. A media plan costing one firm $10 million can cost another $12 million. Other major factors in cost differences are knowledge of the marketplace and the ability to negotiate package deals. A spot ad is a one-time placement of a commercial in a medium. Rates are negotiated individually by the number of times the ads appear. Spot television prices fluctuate by as much as 45% for the same time slot. Radio time slot prices vary by as much as 42%, and national print ads by as much as 24%. Negotiation skills affect media purchase outcomes. The quality of media choices, creativity, financial stewardship, the agency's culture and track record, and the relationship between the agency and the medium sales representative lead to the differences in the effectiveness of various advertising campaigns. The quality of the media selections made combined with the advertisement's content determines eventual levels of success. As with many subjects, advertising has its own unique set of terms and measures. Reach represents the number of people, households, or businesses in a target market audience exposed to a media vehicle or message scheduled at least once during a given time period, which normally consists of 4 weeks. In other words, how many targeted buyers did the ad reach at least once during a 4-week period? Frequency. The average number of times an individual household or business within a particular target market is exposed to a particular advertisement within a specified time frame, usually 4 weeks, constitutes frequency. It specifies how many times the person encountered the ad during a campaign. A regular viewer will see the same ad shown daily on Wheel of Fortune more frequently than she views an ad shown once on CSI, even though the CSI program has a greater reach. Opportunities to see. In media planning, instead of frequency, buyers can use opportunities to see, or the cumulative exposures achieved in a given weekly television show. 8 OTS, 4 shows, 2 ads per show, occur during a 4-week period.
Can you read my booklet to me like that?
Sure.
Gotta take that manager's fucking serve safe.
Sure. When I finish with this, we can do that. Gross rating points. Gross rating points measure the impact or intensity of a media plan. Advertisers calculate gross rating points by multiplying a vehicle's rating by the OTS, or a number of insertions of an advertisement. GRPs provide the advertiser with a better idea of the odds that members of the target audience actually viewed the commercial. By increasing how cost-effective one medium or ad placement is compared to another, the cost per thousand figure can be calculated. CPM, the cost per thousand, identifies the dollar cost of reaching 1,000 members of the media vehicle's audience. Marketers calculate CPM using the following formula. CPM equals the cost of media buy time divided by the total audience times 1,000. Figure 7.4 displays cost and readership information for a campaign for a 35mm digital camera. The first 3 columns of the figure provide the name of the magazine, the cost of a 4-color full-page advertisement, and the magazine's paid and verified circulation. The 4th column contains a measure of the CPM of each magazine. The CPM for Better Homes and Gardens is $66.21 and has a circulation of 7.6 million. Sports Illustrated has a smaller circulation, 3.2 million, but the CPM is $122.69. In terms of cost per thousand readers, Reader's Digest offers the best buy at 26.04 per thousand. Consider the target market's profile when a company seeks to advertise a 35mm digital camera. The number of readers that fit the target market's profile becomes the key goal. Ratings measure the percentage of a firm's target market exposed to a television show or the number of readers of a print medium. In order to compare media, a measure called the cost per rating point may be used. The cost per rating point formula that measures the relative efficiency of a media vehicle relative to the equals cost of media buy divided by the vehicle's rating. Assume there are 20 million potential buyers of 35mm digital cameras. The figure shows the rating for Better Homes and Gardens is 5.2, which means that 5.2% of the defined target market for 35mm digital cameras read Better Homes and Gardens. Backing up a step, 13.5 of Better Homes and Gardens readership fits the target profile for the 35mm digital camera. The 5.2 rating is then obtained by dividing the 1.033 million Better Homes and Gardens readers that fit the target profile by the 20 million total for the target market. The CPRP for Better Homes and Gardens becomes $98,041. It specifies the average cost for each rating point, or of each 1% of the firm's target audience, 35mm digital camera buyers, that can be reached through an advertisement in Better Homes and Gardens. Not all readers of a magazine are part of the firm's target market. The CPRP more accurately measures an advertising campaign's efficiency than does CPM. Notice that the CPRP is the lowest for National Geographic and Reader's Digest. It is the highest for Good Housekeeping. CPRP provides a relative measure of reach exposure in terms of cost. It costs $37,204 to reach 1%, or $200,000, of the 20 million in this firm's target market using National Geographic. It costs $146,294 to reach 1%, or $200,000, using Sports Illustrated. To reach 1%, or $200,000, using Reader's Digest costs only $27,970. Reader's Digest is the most efficient, which raises the question, why wouldn't a media planner just do all of the advertising in that magazine? The answer lies in Reader's Digest's rating. Advertising in only that magazine reaches just 6.6%, or 1.325 million of the target audience. 93.4% of the target market does not read Reader's Digest and would not see the ad. Another magazine or media outlet is needed to reach them. This explains why diversity in media is essential to reach a large portion of a firm's target audience. An alternative method of determining whether an ad has reached the target market efficiently is a weighted, or demographic, CPM value, which can be calculated as weighted CPM equals advertisement cost times 1,000 divided by actual audience reach. Referring to figure 7.5, the cost of an advertisement in Good Housekeeping is $387,055. Although it has a circulation of 4.652 million, only 503,000 of the readers fit the target profile for the 35mm digital camera. Using the formula for weighted CPM, the cost to reach 1,000 readers of Good Housekeeping that fit the target profile is $769.49. As with CPRP, marketers can compare the various magazines to determine which offer the best buy in terms of reaching the target demographic. The difference in the numbers is that CPRP measures the cost of reaching 1% of the target market, whereas the weighted CPM measures the cost of reaching 1,000 members of the target market. Continuity. The exposure pattern or schedule used in a campaign signifies its continuity. The three types of patterns are continuous, pulsating, and discontinuous. A continuous campaign uses media time in a steady stream. Home construction companies such as Buford Hawthorne would use a continuous schedule because individuals making decisions to build homes do not follow any consistent time frame for when they will be ready to buy. Consequently, media buyers would look for ad space in specific magazines for a period of 1 to 2 years. By using different ads and rotating them, readers will not get bored because they will see more than one advertisement for the same product. A retailer such as JCPenney might feature a pulsating schedule by placing ads in various media throughout the entire year, but then increasing the number of advertisements in small, short bursts around holidays, including Christmas, Thanksgiving, Memorial Day, Labor Day, Mother's Day, Father's Day, and Easter. Pulsating advertising should reach customers when they are most likely to make purchases or buy special merchandise, such as during the holidays. A Barnes & Noble advertisement just prior to Christmas can encourage customers to purchase gift cards. A flighting, or discontinuous, campaign schedule, in which advertisements run at only certain times of the year, differs from the first two approaches. It would be more likely to be used by a ski resort that runs ads during the fall and winter seasons, but none during the spring and summer. Impressions. The final advertising term is impressions. The number of gross impressions represents the total exposures of the audience to an advertisement. It does not account for the percentage of the total audience that sees the advertisement. Figure 7.5 indicates that National Geographic's total circulation is approximately 4.6 million. If 6 insertions were placed in National Geographic, multiplying the insertions by the readership would yield a total of 27.6 million impressions. Achieving advertising objectives. Advertisers consider the number of times a person will be exposed to an advertisement before it creates an impact. Most agree that a single exposure will not be sufficient. The actual number inspires a great deal of debate. Some argue it takes 3, others say as many as 10 or more. Most media planners believe an advertisement requires a minimum of 3 exposures for an advertisement to be effective. The 3 exposure hypothesis, as developed by Herbert Krugman, states that an advertisement can make an impact on an audience regardless of individual needs or wants. Further, the intrusion value of an advertisement represents the ability of a medium or an advertisement to capture the attention of a viewer without a voluntary effort. This reasoning suggests that it takes at least 3 exposures to capture a viewer's attention. Recency theory. Currently, many advertisers believe that clutter has diminished the viability of the 3 exposure hypothesis. Another concept, recency theory, notes that a consumer exhibits selective attention and focuses on personal needs and wants as he considers advertisements. When a consumer pays attention to messages that might meet his needs or wants, the closer an exposure to a commercial is to the purchase decision, the more powerful the ad becomes. Further, when a consumer contemplates a future purchase of the product being advertised, the consumer becomes more likely to notice and react favorably toward an ad. A member of a buying center from a business in the market for a new copier will more readily notice copier advertisements. Someone who is not in the market for a copier ignores the same ad. The same holds true in consumer markets. An individual desiring a new pair of jeans notices clothing ads, especially ones that feature jeans. Recency theory proposes that one ad exposure may actually be enough to affect an audience when that person or business needs the product being promoted. Additional exposures may not be necessary. Therefore, companies should advertise almost continually to ensure an advertisement reaches a buyer when she thinks about making a purchase. The advertisement approach that matches recency theory would be to spread the message around using a variety of media, each type providing limited exposure per week or time period. In the case of selling supplemental health insurance to the elderly, magazines such as Senior Living, television spots on local news and weather programs, and newspaper ads can quickly reach the target audience in a cost-effective manner. This method, which maximizes reach, accomplishes more than increasing frequency. In the business-to-business arena, recency theory suggests that advertisements should appear in a number of outlets and over a longer period of time rather than running a series of ads in one trade journal. Many times, buying centers consist of several members, each with differing responsibilities. Making sure each one sees an advertisement would mean placing ads in every journal that might be read by the buying center members. To facilitate the purchasing process for a company seeking to acquire an audio conferencing system, the media buyer purchases space in trade journals, human resource journals, sales journals, and business journals. This increases the odds that the message will reach buying center members. One exposure might be enough for each because the member actively looks for information and is ready to make a decision. Effective reach and frequency. Seeking to discover the minimum number of exposures needed to be effective may be based on two concepts. Effective reach identifies the percentage of an audience that must be exposed to a particular message to achieve a specific objective. Effective frequency refers to the number of times a target audience must be exposed to a message to achieve a particular objective. The effective frequency concept implies that a minimum number of exposures will be needed. Effective frequency and effective reach provide crucial guidelines. Too fast exposures means the advertiser might fail to attain its intended objectives. In contrast, too many exposures waste resources. Discovering the optimal reach and frequency mix to accomplish the intended objectives without experiencing diminishing returns from extra ads should be the goal. The optimal fix for an objective, dealing with brand recognition, is the objective. Other elements can also enhance effective frequency and effective reach. They include the size and play create the same impact as a larger ad. If a firm uses 15-second television ads, effective frequency may require 6 exposures. In comparison, a longer 45-second spot may require only 4 exposures to be remembered. In television advertising, a spot in the middle of an ad sequence usually has less of an impact than the ad shown at the beginning and end of the series. The number of different media used in an advertising campaign also influences effectiveness. In general, a campaign featuring ads in 2 types of media, such as television and magazines, will generate greater effective reach than the campaign in only one medium, such as magazines only. In recent years, numerous media companies have designed computer models to optimize reach and frequency, including Nielsen's Save and Adware. These programs are based on probability theory. They help a marketing team effectively allocate advertising dollars. The interaction between an attention-getting television commercial and a magazine ad with a copy explaining the product's features may create a more potent synergistic effect than either ad would generate by itself. Brand recognition. Brand recognition requires an emphasis on the visual presentation of the product and or logo. Strengthening or creating links between the brand and other nodes of information that exist in the person's knowledge structure become the goal. Rather than leading the individual to recall the brand name from the memory, the advertiser wants the person to recognize the brand name and logo at the retail store in the advertisement. Media that are effective at maximizing reach include television, billboards, magazines, the internet, and direct mail. Brand recall. To increase brand recall, frequency becomes more important than reach. Repetition helps embed a brand in a consumer's cognitive memory. Repetition makes it more likely that a particular brand will come to mind. When a 30-second commercial repeats the name of a restaurant 7 times, it becomes easier to remember that than when it is stated only once or twice. In terms of media selection, television, radio, newspapers, and the internet offer the potential for higher frequency. Figure 7.6 compares brand recall with brand recognition. Once the media buyer, media planner, and account executive and company leaders agree to basic objectives of the advertising campaign, they select the actual media, seeking to identify logical media combinations. The next section examines traditional advertising media selection. Effectively mixing advertising media constitutes a vital element in the design of a quality advertising campaign. To do so, marketing professionals consider the advantages and disadvantages of each individual medium. Television. Deloitte research recently noted that 71% of Americans still rate television as their favorite medium. In terms of impact on buying decisions, 86% stated that TV advertising exerts the greatest influence. While the power of television has declined for many brands and companies, it remains a viable advertising option. At the same time, advertisers should be aware that television viewing has changed. It now occurs on a tablet or laptop computer rather than a regular television screen. Figure 7.7 lists the pros and cons of television advertising. Advantages of television advertising. Television provides the most extensive coverage and highest reach of any medium. A single advertisement can reach millions. Television offers a low cost per contact, which justifies spending as much as $4 million for a 30-second spot on the Super Bowl, where a vast audience of more than 110 million households and nearly 1 billion people may be watching. The cost per person reached by the commercial is low. And television provides intrusion value. Commercials featuring a catchy musical tune, sexy content, or humor can quickly capture a viewer's attention. Television offers opportunities to be creative in designing advertisements. Visual images and sounds can be incorporated in a commercial. Advertisers are able to demonstrate products and services on television in a manner not possible in print or using radio advertisements. Segmentation may be achieved by targeting specialty shows and networks such as the Food Channel or ESPN. Disadvantage of television advertising. Clutter continues to be the primary problem for television advertising. Many programs include 31 commercials per hour, and they take as long as 19 minutes to run. 4 and 5 minute commercial breaks are common. As a result, many viewers switch channels during commercial breaks. Often, low recall exists, especially for commercials placed in the middle of an advertising segment. Messages at the beginning or near the end of the break have a better chance to be recalled. Also, ads near the beginning of a television show or during the last commercial break have a higher recall because individuals want to catch the start of the show and make sure they see the last part of the show for its climax or conclusion. Some viewers cope with clutter by using a DVR, recording favorite programs and watching them later. Advertisers fear the DVR users will skip over the commercials. Recent research indicates, however, that fewer than half fast forward through commercials. Also, the majority watches the television show the same day it is recorded, and 75% have viewed it by the end of the next day. This means that time-sensitive ads are seen close to when they were first run. Consequently, the fear that DVRs cause viewers to skip commercials may be somewhat unjustified. Television airtime is expensive, as are the costs of producing ads. The average cost of production for a 30-second national ad is $358,000. Production fees account for the largest portion of the cost, an average of $236,000. Other costs include director fees, $20,000. How is director fee not considered a production fee? What?
That's fucking crazy.
Other costs include director fees, $23,000, fees for editing and finishing the ad, $45,000, and creative labor fees and music, $34,000. To gain a sense of how well an advertisement fared in terms of reaching an audience, a given program's rating can be calculated. The typical rating formula is rating equals number of households tuned to a program divided by total number of households in a market.
That is ridiculous.
Yep. It's also a little dated if they're still talking about DVR, but
Yeah, right. No. Get out of there.
go ahead, but if you eat too many of them, you'll get diarrhea.
Yes, you will.
Go ahead. The red ones, go ahead. Don't take them into any other rooms, eat them in the kitchen.
Okay.
Be a good boy.
I didn't get that one.
What did you need from me tomorrow?
I didn't get these open.
Okay. Are you gonna be at the trailer park tomorrow?
No, tomorrow's cut time.
Oh shit, that's right. Okay.
The kids are all at the trailer park right now painting and cleaning for me
Okay.
in the unit that I needed all that shit out of.
It's all still in there, or is it sitting out front of the unit?
No, it's in the living room. I told them just tie out the middle.
Do you have the key for it?
I do have a
Okay. If you leave that, I can go get that stuff in the morning.
key. Okay.
Okay. Good. We got the play date, but I don't know what time yet. Probably afternoon, early evening. Okay. In the United States, approximately 109.7 million households own television sets. To calculate the rating of an episode of American Idol, if the number of households tuned to the season finale was 17.8 million, the rating would be 17.8 million divided by 109.7 million equals 16.2. Next, if the advertiser were interested in the percentage of households that actually were watching television at that hour, the program's share could be calculated. Assuming 71 million of the 109.7 million households had a television turned on during the hour in which American Idol aired, the share would be 17.8 million divided by 71 million equals 25. A 16.2 rating would mean that 16.2% of all televisions in the United States were tuned to American Idol. A 25 share means 25% of the households with a television rating actually tuned on were watching the program. Ratings do not guarantee viewers saw the commercial. Ratings and shares only indicate of how well the television program fared. C3 ratings. Some advertisers have began to adopt a new system, the commercial C3 rating, which calculates a rating for the actual commercial time slot rather than the television program. It computes a commercial's rating plus any viewing of the commercial 3 days after the original ad ran. Many firms now use the C3 rating to determine national television advertising rates. Marketers calculate the C3 rating by computing the average rating of all commercials within a particular pod or commercial segment. Various advertisers have criticized the system, claiming that not all ads within a pod receive equal exposure. For instance, the first position in a pod generates 28% higher awareness than ads in the middle of the commercial sequence. Thus, the position of a particular ad in the commercial break and the length of the pod have no impact on the rates being charged. Nielsen intends to expand the C3 rating system to correct this problem. Called On-Demand C3, the new system will produce a rating for each commercial. It will include the show's live telecast viewing along with 3-day post-viewing periods via DVRs. Figure 7.8 provides the cost of 30-second ads using the C3 system. The higher a show's rating over time, the more that can be charged. The highest costs are for American Idol at $467,617 and Sunday Night Football at $415,000. Ratings providers. Good? They're called pecans.
Those are Grandma's favorite.
Grandma loves pecans. She'll put them in anything if you ask her to. Ratings providers. AC Nielsen continues to be the primary organization that calculates and reports ratings and shares. The company provides information regarding shares of stations in local markets known as designated marketing areas. Data gathering techniques used by AC Nielsen include diaries written by viewers who report what they watch, audience meters that record what is being shown automatically, and people meters that track the viewing habits of individual members of families. Nielsen augments TV ratings with information about viewing from tablets and smartphones because the number of individuals using these alternative screens to watch television programming continues to grow, especially among younger consumers. What? Your grilled cheese is in the microwave if you want to go eat it. No, because those are mine. And they're minty.
Now go leave Daddy alone.
No, you can have those ones. You can have these later when I'm done with homework and I open them.
Raspberries, blackberries, and blueberries too. If they come
These numbers can be further refined to help advertisers understand whether an advertisement reached a target market. When within rating and share categories, viewers can be subdivided by certain demographics such as age, income, gender, educational level, and race or ethnic heritage. Organizations that prepare this information include Nielsen Media Research, Starch INRA, Hooper Inc., MediaMark Research Inc., Burke Marketing Research, and Simmons Market Research Bureau. Psychographic information can then be added, such as whether outdoor enthusiasts watch certain programs. This gives the advertiser a sense of whether the program provides the best audience for an advertisement or campaign. Local and regional television advertising. For local and regional companies, Spot TV may be the best television advertising option. In many cases, national brands supplement and national commercials with Spot TV purchases in select markets. Media planners use this approach primarily due to the high cost of national ad time and because 75 to 80% of primetime slots are sold out during the spring, shortly after they go on the market. By selecting local early news, late news, and local prime access, a media planner generates higher GRP at a lower cost than if only national ad time has been purchased. Denver local pizza operation Anthony's Pizza and Pasta switched from 90% out-of-home billboard advertising to 90% television. The company used a concentrated flighting schedule during the first and fourth quarters to build awareness and drive traffic to the restaurants. Spots were run in Denver and on all the national broadcast networks and 14 cable channels including ESPN, Comedy Central, Cartoon Network, Food Network, and AMC. The spots featured the key message tagline, authentic New York-style pizza. 5 spots focused on the crafting of the pizza, and 6 spots utilized humor. During the 6 months when no ads were run, the company used social media, especially Facebook, to maintain contact with customers. Dynamic advertising. TV networks, cable, and satellite TV companies have introduced a new technology that helps advertisers zero in on specific target markets. Dynamic advertising allows a company such as DirecTV to obtain consumer information from marketing research firms and combine it with the company's data to send targeted ads to its subscribers that meet specific criteria and live in targeted areas. It could be Spanish-speaking consumers, individuals who want to lose weight, or who are early adopters of technology. Toyota used dynamic advertising to target ads to DirecTV customers who were identified as tech-savvy early adopters who live in San Francisco, Los Angeles, and San Diego. No other DirecTV subscribers saw the ads. Social media and television. The rise of social media and the internet has led some advertisers to become concerned with that television provides less of an impact. While many consumers watch less TV as they spend more time online, for others the opposite takes place. Social media, mobile, and the internet can be used to enrich television viewing experiences and actually drive consumers to watch more programs. Individuals who spend considerable time with social media tend to watch more TV, although some of it may be on tablets and other portable devices. Adam Rosso of iModerate notes that these individuals love the social interaction and frequently add shows to their viewing lineup due to social chatter. More time is spent on social networks and more hours watching television. A Deloitte research study revealed that 75% of consumers multitask while watching TV. 42% are online, 29% are talking on phones, and 26% are sending messages. Research by Nielsen's Social Guide service suggests that the heaviest Twitter activity occurs during television shows, not during commercial breaks. The interaction between social media and television viewing caused the marketing term for Bluefin Labs to examine online buzz about brands and television shows. People who commented online about Walmart also tweeted or commented about television shows: America's Super Nanny, Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders, Wife Swap, Cell Block 6, Female Lockup, and America's Most Wanted. In contrast, social media comments about Target were tied to online comments and tweets about Top Secret Recipe, My Yard Goes Disney, HGTV'd, Fashion Hunters, and Free Agents. As people spend greater amounts of time on social media, the amount of online buzz about television shows will also rise. By monitoring this type of online chatter, advertising professionals and their clients can gain better perspectives regarding the television shows that provide the best matches for placing ads. YouTube and television. Many companies and advertising agencies post television commercials on YouTube. Some of the ads are placed on the site simultaneously with the TV launch, called in-stream, while others are to be submitted to YouTube prior to the national launch, called pre-roll. For the Super Bowl, part of the ad, a teaser, appears on YouTube prior to the game. Google and Ipsos research indicate that YouTube pre-roll of TV ads as well as in-streaming of TV ads results in higher recall. Individuals who watched the commercial on YouTube and on TV had a 200% higher recall than individuals who saw the ad only on TV. Those who saw the ad online on YouTube only had 150% higher recall. More than 3 billion consumers watch videos on YouTube daily. Super Bowl advertising. The Super Bowl offers the biggest television advertising event of the year. Many of the 110 million viewers tune in to see new ads as much as to watch the game. Recent research indicated that 39% of the viewers stated that the new commercials were their favorite part of the game, and 73% consider Super Bowl advertisements to be entertainment. These findings reinforce the statement by Paul Chive, Vice President of Marketing at Anheuser-Busch, that the Super Bowl is a huge brand-building opportunity. In the past, ads were kept under wraps until the moment they appeared during the game. The rise of social media changed this approach. Many Super Bowl commercials first appear on YouTube, Facebook, the company's website, or on the agency's site prior to the game. As noted, pre-roll teaser ads entice viewers to watch the entire commercial during the game. Pre-rolling ads generates excitement and allows viewers to see, share, and discuss the ads before, during, and after the game. Many companies and agencies now spend as much time developing a marketing plan for the pre-roll as they do for the actual Super Bowl commercial. Further, another new approach involves the release of an extended versions of advertisements with more content or additional information about the ad spot on the website. One pre-roll teaser ad for Volkswagen released to YouTube 3 weeks prior to the Super Bowl was viewed 11 million times. Then, an extended version of the sequel was uploaded to YouTube the week prior to the Super Bowl and was viewed over 1.3 million times. A Super Bowl commercial for the Chevrolet Camaro went online 17 days before the Super Bowl. Brian Sharpless, chief executive of Home Away, stated that because social media can build buzz for Super Bowl commercials before, during, and after the game, if you don't take advantage of all that, you're not getting the most bang for your buck. Super Bowl advertising results in nearly immediate feedback. A number of companies run various types of ad meters during the game and monitor social media buzz to determine the best ads and those that miss the mark. Stan Richards of the Richards Group commented commented, you get quick feedback. I have to tell you, when you go to bed right after the Super Bowl, your last thought is, what is it going to say in USA Today tomorrow morning? Radio. Despite CDs, iPods, audiobooks, and other types of audio devices, the vast majority of Americans, approximately 80%, still listen to the radio daily. Advertising professional Mary Price stated that, right now, on a weekly basis, terrestrial radio still reaches 93% of everybody. It used to be 96 or 97, but it's still up there. As long as they can create a following for local personalities and local events, you can't get that off an iPad. If you want some kind of commentary about the music you're listening to, you can't get that on a pre-recorded iPad. While radio may not seem as glamorous as television, it remains an effective advertising medium. A well-placed, clever commercial results in a one-on-one message, announcer to driver in a car stuck in traffic. Many smaller local companies rely heavily on radio advertising. Most radio ads are produced locally and with small budgets. Advantages of radio advertising. Quality radio advertisements cause the listener to remember the message by creating powerful images to visualize and by employing repetition. These actions move the information from the consumer's short-term to long-term memory. Sound effects and lively tunes can assist in the process. Through repetition, a person hears an advertisement often enough to generate recall. A radio station reaches definable target markets based on its format, such as talk radio, light mix, oldies, or country. A firm can advertise on a specific type of station across the country. If you guys eat too many of those candies, you will get diarrhea and there will be poop everywhere and you will not feel good. There are consequences with those candies.
Yes.
And if you do start shitting yourself, I will make you get in the bath because I'm not cleaning that shit up. So, think, good choice or bad choice? How many of you had? Is eating a bunch of candy a good choice or a bad choice?
Bad.
It probably is, yeah. So maybe we should stop. But I'll leave it up to you guys. And if you get consequences, then you get consequences. Is 3 pieces of candy a lot of candy or not a lot of candy? We'll see. Test your hypothesis. Go ahead, test it. See if you're right.
I'm telling you, you're cramping and shitting yourself, and it's not gonna feel pretty.
No, it's not a fun experience. No, leave it alone. A radio station reaches definable target markets based on its format, such as talk radio, light mix, oldies, or country. A firm can advertise on a specific type of station across the country. Radio advertisers can examine the rating and share of a program as well as the estimated number of people listening. Arbitron calculates these numbers for local stations. Radio's all-dimension audience research reports ratings for national radio networks. Radio can create intimacy. Listeners often feel personally close to DJs and radio personalities. The attachment grows over time. Listening to the same individual becomes more personal and intimate, especially if the listener has a conversation with the DJ during a contest or when requesting a song. What? No, I'm busy.
Daddy is busy. I told you to go play.
If you can't figure it out yourself, you don't need it, buddy. You can solve problems, so you can solve your problems. So solve your problem. Figure it out. You can do it. Either one will work. The bond or intimacy level gives the radio personality a higher level of credibility and an edge to goods and services the radio celebrity endorses. Beachbody, a fitness brand based in Santa Monica, California, used radio as the prime medium to promote its P90X, a home exercise system that promised total body improvements within 90 days. Robinson Radio from Virginia was contracted to develop and manage the radio campaign. Robinson realized the best approach was to use radio's secret weapon, the DJs, who used the product, documented their successes, and then described their progress on the air. The DJs also posted their photos on the company's website, created chat rooms for listeners, and asked listeners to share their success stories. Early in the campaign, it became clear that the micro website was a key component of the radio campaign because it allowed communications between the listeners, customers of the product, and the DJs. The other advantage of emphasizing radio was that it was easy and inexpensive to make changes to ads as the campaign progressed. The campaign was highly successful in California. Beachbody expanded the campaign nationally within a few months. Disadvantages of radio advertising. Short exposure time creates one problem for radio. Most commercials last 15 or 30 seconds. Listeners involved in other activities such as driving or working on a computer may not pay attention. Further, people often use radio as a background to drown out other distractions, especially at work. For national advertisers, covering a large area with radio advertisements can be difficult. To place a national advertisement requires contacting a large number of companies. Few large radio conglomerates means contacts must be made with multiple stations. Negotiating rates with individual stations based on volume may be difficult. Local businesses can often negotiate better rates than national advertisers because of the local company's relationships with the radio stations. The 4 main national radio networks in the United States are Westwood One, ABC, CBS, and Unistar. These are joined by a few other strong networks such as ESPN Radio and CNN. Nationally syndicated programs such as those on the Fox Radio Network offer some opportunities to national advertisers. In large metropolitan areas, duplication presents another problem. Several radio stations may try to reach the same target market. Chicago has several rock stations. Advertising on each one may not be financially feasible, yet reaching everyone in that target market might not be possible unless all rock stations are included. Opportunities for radio. Radio advertising offers a low-cost option for a local firm. Ads can be placed at ideal times and adapted to local conditions. Careful selection selection of stations, times, and quality construction of the advertisement will be the keys. Radio allows local businesses to present remote broadcasts. Remotes may be used to attract attention to a new business, restaurants, retail stores, etc., or to a company trying to make a major push for immediate customers. Advertisers often combine radio promotions with other media, local television or newspapers, to send more integrated messages. For business-to-business advertisers, radio provides the opportunity to reach businesses during working hours because many employees listen to the radio during office hours. Radio often reaches business people while in transit to or from work. Both radio and television usage has increased for business-to-business marketing. Out-of-home advertising. Billboards along major roads continue to be the most common form of out-of-home advertising. However, there are others. Signs on cabs, buses, park benches, and fences of sports arenas are other types of outdoor advertising. A blimp flying above a major sporting event constitutes another form of out-of-home advertising. In the past, many company leaders seldom considered outdoor advertising as part of the planning process for an integrated marketing communications program or the development of the media plan. However, this has now changed. Advances in technology have dramatically improved OOH advertising. Annual expenditures on outdoor advertisements total more than $5.5 billion. Global positioning systems, wireless communications, and digital display technology have transformed outdoor advertising. LED technology creates animated videos in locations such as Times Square in New York and the Strip in Las Vegas. It can present static messages and visuals that change electronically. Figure 7.1 provides a breakdown of outdoor spending by categories. The Firehouse Agency of Dallas created a unique billboard campaign for Stripes convenience stores. The signs invited customers of Stripes to tweet about tacos sold at the convenience stores. The tweets were then streamed into digital billboard displays located near traffic lights in 8 different Texas cities where vehicles would stop for a red light. According to Ian Delamore of Lamar Advertising, Stripes wanted to do something more than just change the copy a few times a day. It wanted to create this sense of a conversation and make people feel involved. The idea is to get people more engaged with outdoor advertising and arouse curiosity about the tacos. The tweets ran from lunchtime until midnight daily. Billboard advertising offers long life. For local companies, billboards can be an excellent advertising medium because the message will primarily be seen by residents. It also provides a low-cost medium in terms of cost per impression. Out-of-home advertising features a broad reach and a high level of frequency when advertisers purchase multiple billboards or venues. Every person who travels past a billboard or sees an advertisement on a taxi has been exposed to the message. Many out-of-home companies feature rotation packages in which an ad moves to different locations throughout an area during the course of the year, thereby increasing its reach. Digital boards and signs deliver high-resolution graphics as well as capabilities of changing messages on demand or on a routine schedule. Figure 7.11 lists the advantages and disadvantages of out-of-home ads. Disadvantages of out-of-home advertising. Short exposure time remains the major drawback of out-of-home advertising. Drivers must pay attention to the traffic as they travel by a billboard. As a result, advertisers keep messages short. Pedestrians often get only a quick look at an advertisement placed on a vehicle. Most either ignore outdoor ads or give them just a casual glance. Ironically, in large cities among major arteries, the cost of billboard spots has increased. The reason? Traffic jams. People stuck in slow-moving traffic spend more time looking at billboards. Another option is to purchase billboard locations where traffic stops, for signals, or at stop signs. Duh. Print media. Printed outlets remain an important component of traditional media. A growing number of print magazines and newspapers have developed digital versions of materials that can be viewed on computers, tablets, and smartphones. In some cases, the digital format will be identical to the print version. In others, the site includes additional or different content. Just as websites became essential for businesses, print media companies now must develop digital components to compete effectively. This chapter covers traditional print media. This next chapter describes the digital component. Magazines. For many advertisers, magazines represent a secondary choice in media buying. Recent research indicates, however, that magazines often deliver a quality option. An affinity research study suggests that half of readers either take actions such as accessing a website after seeing an ad in a magazine. Others develop more favorable opinions about magazine advertiser companies. Several studies conclude that magazines are a strong driver of purchase intentions and boost the effectiveness of other media. Figure 7.12 identifies some potential magazine advantages and disadvantages of magazines. Advantages of magazine advertising. Magazines create high levels of market segmented segments such as automobiles. A number of magazines exist. High audience interest constitutes another advantage. An individual who subscribes to Modern Bride has an attraction to weddings. People reading magazines also tend to view and pay attention to advertisements related to their needs and wants. Often readers linger over an ad for a longer period of time because they read magazines in waiting situations, such as in a doctor's office or during leisure time. The high level of interest, segmentation, and differentiation when combined with high quality color are ideal for products with well-defined target markets. Trade and business journals represent the primary choice for business-to-business marketers. Businesses target advertisements to buying center members. The ads copy can deliver a greater level of detail about products. Interested readers take more time to study the information provided in the advertisement. Ads often contain toll-free telephone numbers and website addresses so that interested parties can obtain further information. Magazines have long lives that reach beyond an immediate issue. An avid magazine reader may examine a particular issue several times and spend a considerable amount of time with each issue. Advertisers know the reader will be exposed to the ad more than once and might be more likely to pay attention. Other individuals may also review the magazine. In the business-to-business sector, trade journals are often passed around to several individuals or members of the buying center. As long as the magazine lasts, the advertisement is still available to be viewed. In addition to the standard sniff patches that can be placed in magazines for perfume and cologne, advertisers can now add QR codes or special mobile apps. DirecTV partnered with Sports Illustrated to create a free Android and iOS app for SI's annual swimsuit edition. Individuals who downloaded the app to their smartphones could hold the phone over the swimsuit models in the SI magazine and watch watch videos of the model's picture shoot. The magazine had 19 embedded videos, each approximately 30 seconds in length. Disadvantages of magazine advertising. While overall readership of magazines has declined, the trend is less evident among influential Americans. Individuals with incomes of $100,000 or more read an average of 15.3 publications, and individuals with incomes over $250,000 read an average of 23.8. Magazine advertisements require a great deal of lead time and are expensive to prepare. They may be less viable for more general consumption products such as basic necessities. At the same time, magazines still provide an effective advertising medium. In both consumer and business markets, it appears that magazines used in conjunction with other media can enhance the effectiveness of an advertising campaign. Newspapers. When USA Today was launched, few believed a national daily newspaper could succeed. At the same time, news reporting has changed. Many small local papers no longer exist, and conglomerates such as Gannett own most major city newspapers. Still, daily readership continues in some segments. For many smaller local firms, newspaper ads, billboards, and local radio programs provide the most viable advertising options. Newspapers are distributed daily, weekly, or in grocery stores and retail outlets. Advantages of newspaper advertising. As noted in Figure 7.13, many retailers rely on newspapers because it offers geographic selectivity. Local market action is easier. Short lead time permits retailers to quickly change ads and promotions. Such flexibility presents the advantage of allowing advertisers the ability to keep ads current, and the ads can be modified to meet competitive offers that are focused on recent events. Newspapers retain high levels of credibility. Readers rely on newspapers for factual information. Newspaper readers hold high interest levels in the articles as well as advertisements. Greater audience interest permits advertisers to provide more copy detail in ads. Newspaper readers may take more time to read copy unless an advertiser jams too much information into a small space. A recent survey of shoppers revealed that newspapers were the most trusted source of information for purchase decisions. Recognizing a match between newspaper readers and its customer base, Starbucks launched a unique newspaper campaign designed by the agency Wyden and Kennedy of Portland, Oregon. Starbucks invited coffee drinkers to stop at a local Starbucks for a free cup of coffee on March 15th. Four-page full-color ads were placed in daily newspapers of 11 major markets, including New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, Boston, and Dallas. The ads were placed in the newspapers the week before the giveaway and again the day before. Then, on the day of the giveaway, Starbucks hired street vendors to pass out free copies of the newspapers that contained the Starbucks ad. The newspapers were banded with the distinctive Starbucks coffee cup sleeve. The campaign cost $545,000, but resulted in 500,000 customers going into a Starbucks store. Lines wrapped around the block in some locations. Starbucks estimated the newspaper campaign resulted in 12 million impressions. Newspapers cannot be easily targeted to specific market segments, although sports pages carry sports ads, entertainment pages contain movie and restaurant ads, and so forth. Newspapers have short lives. Once read, a newspaper will be cast aside, recycled, or destroyed. If a reader does not see an advertisement during the first pass through a newspaper, it may go unnoticed. Readers rarely pick up papers a second time. When they do, it is to continue reading, not to reread or rescan a section that has already been viewed. Newspaper readers continue to age. Younger consumers obtain news either through the internet or from television. Few read a print newspaper. The average age of those who read printed papers is 51, compared to 44 for those who read the digital version. Digital readers are younger, better educated, and are often more affluent than the print readers. Media mix. Selecting the proper blend of media outlets for advertisements is crucial. As they prepare campaigns, advertisers make decisions regarding the appropriate mix of media. Media planners and media buyers are excellent sources of information regarding the most effective type of mix for a particular advertising campaign. Figure 7.14 displays the media mix in the United States for Coca-Cola. Total U.S. spending for advertising by Coca-Cola was $752 million. 63.4% went to television advertising. Coca-Cola spent far less on the other media. Recent studies by Millward Brown and A.C. Nielsen highlight the benefits of combining media. The Millward Brown report indicates that ad awareness became strongest when consumers were exposed to an advertisement on television and in a magazine. Ad awareness was considerably lower for only those who read the magazine ad, and even less for those who only saw the television commercial. The media multiplier effect suggests that the combined impact of using two or more media will be stronger than using either medium alone. The British insurance company Churchill discovered that 62% of consumers who saw the company's TV commercial and heard its radio ad planned to look into Churchill Insurance, compared to 49% who only saw the television advertisement. The media multiplier effect is equally useful for business-to-business advertisers. In a survey conducted by American Business Media, 89% of the business respondents indicated that an integrated market research approach raised their awareness of a company or brand. Seeing advertisements in more than one medium led the company or brand name to become top of mind. It also resulted in more businesses making purchases. Finding effective combinations of media will be the key to utilizing the media multiplier effect. Figure 7.15 displays the process for choosing the best media for a particular advertising message. Media experts decide which go best together for individual target markets, goods and services, and advertising messages. Media selection in business-to-business markets. Identifying differences between consumer ads and business-to-business ads has become more difficult, especially on television, outdoor, and the internet. In the past, business-to-business advertisements were easy to spot. The content was aimed at another company. Marketers seldom use television, outdoor, or the internet. Now, however, companies spend over half of all business advertising dollars on non-business venues. Several explanations have been offered regarding the shift to non-business media. First, business decision-makers also consume goods and services. The same psychological techniques used to influence and gain consumer attention can be used for business decision-makers. Second, reaching business decision-makers at work can be hard. Gatekeepers, secretaries, voicemail systems, etc., often prevent the flow of information to users, influence into decision makers. The problem becomes worse in straight rebuy situations in which orders are routinely placed with the current vendor. Any company other than the chosen vendor finds it difficult to make contact with buying center members. Consequently, some business-to-business vendors try to reach them at home, in the car, or in some other non-business setting. Third, clutter among the traditional business media makes it challenging to get a company noticed. Business advertisers recognize that a strong brand name can be a major factor in making a sale. Taking lessons from major giants such as Nike, Kraft Foods, and Procter & Gamble, business marketers seek to develop strong brands because the name of the company can help. In the past, many business ads were fairly dull. Currently, business ads are more likely to resemble those aimed at consumers. Ads feature creative appeals in the use of music, humor, sex, and fear. The boldest business ads sometimes include nudity or other risque materials. Figure 7.16 identifies the ways business-to-business advertising expenditures are divided among the various media. In the past, business publications accounted for most of the expenditures, often half of the dollars. Business publications now represent about one-fourth of the more than $14 billion spent annually on business-to-business advertising. As more dollars are shifted to non-business types of media, the amount being spent on television, newspapers, and consumer magazines has steadily increased. Although the use of business publications has decreased, trade journals still present an excellent opportunity to contact members of the buying center whom salespeople cannot reach. Gatekeepers do not prevent trade journals from being sent to members of the buying center. An advertisement has the best chance of success when a firm makes modified rebuy and the buying center is in the information search stage. In addition to trade journals, business-to-business advertisers also use business magazines such as Business Week. These publications have highly selective audiences and the ads have longer lifespans in print. Business decision makers and members of the buying center spend more time examining print media than any other medium. Many goals in business-to-business advertisements are the same as those devoted to customers. International implications. Understanding media viewing habits in international markets constitutes an important part of a successful advertising program. In Japan, television provides a major advertising tool. In other countries, it is not as prevalent. In Europe, a good way to reach consumers is through print media, such as magazines and newspapers. For several years, reports have surfaced that teenagers are watching less TV and spending more time on the internet. A Forrester research study contradicted that notion, at least in Europe. Thousands of teenagers in Europe were surveyed about their media usage. The general conclusions of the Forrester study are that European teens spend more time watching TV than they do with any other medium, averaging 10.3 hours per week. Average personal time on the internet is 9.1 hours per week. Europeans aged 10 to 17 spend less time on the internet than individuals 18 and older. Only 41% of European teens visit social networks at least once a week. Teenagers like to multitask, watching TV while texting friends or playing video games while listening to music or TV. Younger European teens love video games, playing twice as much as individuals 18 and older. Most teenagers do not read the paper. They get news from TV or the internet. Although a large number of media buying agencies operate throughout the world, nearly 3/4 of all media buying is conducted by only 6 large global agencies or their holding agencies. The largest global media company is the WPP Group, which holds 22% of the market share. To combat these large media networks, a global media consortium has been formed. The consortium consists of a number of smaller independent agencies and offers services in Europe, North America, the Russian Federation, and Asia. Central offices are located in New York and London to serve business clients and to pitch for regional and national accounts. Large global media agencies have faced some criticism in recent years from marketing managers. They complain about the inability to provide effective media buys throughout all the countries where the clients operate. Although a few agencies do cover the world, it is difficult to be strong in every country in which an agency has a presence. The global agency may not be the best option in every country. Some of independent agencies believe that they have a better opportunity to increase their market shares. In general, the tactics used to develop advertising campaigns and choose appropriate media in the United States apply to other countries throughout the world. What differs is the nature of the target markets, consumer media preferences, and the processes used to buy media. Company representatives carefully attend to cultural mores to make sure the buying process does not offend the cultural and religious attitudes in any given region. Agency employees seek to fully understand the target market as the company purchases advertising time or space and prepares advertising campaigns. Summary. In traditional advertising, the roles of media planners and media buyers have grown in importance. Bob Brennan, Chief Operating Officer of Chicago-based Leo Burnett Starcom USA, stated that in the past, 95% of your success was great creative and 5% was great media. Now it's much closer to 50-50. A media strategy is the process of analyzing and choosing media for an advertising and promotions campaign. Media planners and buyers complete much of the work. The media planner formulates a program stating where and when to place advertisements. Media planners work closely with creatives and account executives. Media buyers purchase the space and they negotiate rates, times, and schedules for the ads. The goals of reach, frequency, opportunity to see, gross rating points, effective rating points, cost continuity, and gross impressions drive the media selection process. Reach identifies the number of people, households, or businesses in a target audience exposed to a media vehicle or message schedule at least once during a given time period. Frequency represents the average number of times an individual household or business within a particular target market is exposed to a particular advertisement within a specified time period. Gross rating points measure the impact or intensity of a media plan. Cost per thousand is one method of finding the cost of the campaign by assessing the dollar cost of reaching 1,000 members of the media vehicle's audience. Cost per rating point is a second cost measure. It assesses the efficiency of a media vehicle relative to a firm's target market. Ratings measure the percentage of a firm's target market exposed to a show on a television or an article in print medium. Continuity sets the schedule or pattern of advertisement placements within an advertising campaign period. Gross impressions are the number of total exposures of the audience to suggest that a consumer must be exposed to an ad at least 3 times before it has the desired impact. Other experts believe even more exposures are necessary. In contrast, recency theory suggests that ads truly reach only those wanting or needing a product and that the carryover effects of advertising diminish rapidly. It is necessary, therefore, to advertise on a continuous basis to ensure that the message is noticed by consumers as they make purchase decisions. In addition to these basic concepts, advertising experts often utilize the concepts of effective frequency and effective reach. Effective frequency states that the number of times a target audience must be exposed to a message to achieve a particular objective. Effective reach identifies the percentage of an audience that must be exposed to a particular message to achieve a specific objective. In seeking advertising goals, marketing experts, account executives, and others assess the relative advantages and disadvantages of each individual advertising medium. Thus, television, radio, out-of-home magazines, and newspapers should all be considered as potential ingredients in a campaign. Other new media can be used to complement and supplement the more traditional media outlets. Logical combinations of media should be chosen. In business-to-business setting, companies can combine consumer media outlets with trade journals and other business venues to attempt to reach members of the buying center. In many cases, enticing ads using consumer appeals such as sex, fear, and humor have replaced dry, dull, boring ads with an abundance of copy. International advertising media selection is different in some ways from that which takes place in the United States because media buying processes differ, as do media preferences of locals in various countries. At the same time, the process of media selection is quite similar. Marketing experts choose media they believe will reach the target audience in an effective manner. And that was chapter 7.
That's a lot. I'm exhausted just listening to you.
And I'm not done yet.
I didn't think you were. We're supposed to take this with him today. I knew if I didn't do it, he'd forget. So how many years ago was this?
I have no idea when this book was published.
Seems
Alright, now, did that one. Marketing communications case, metabocal, positioning and communication strategy for new weight loss drug. Case questions, please answer these questions. Set that aside. I guess I should review them. What is the decision-making process for Metabocal? Who is involved in the process? How should PrintUp think about the segmentation of potential Metabocal consumers? Who is the optimal target market? How should CSP identify and employ the differential advantages that Metabocal offers to position itself in the market? Okay. Metabocal, positioning and communication strategy for a new weight loss drug. Barbara PrintUp, Senior Director of Marketing for Cambridge Sciences Pharmaceuticals, CSP, listened as overweight focus group participants recounted their lifelong struggles with weight loss. PrintUp had just been placed in charge of the upcoming U.S. product launch of CSP's newest prescription drug, Metabocal. In clinical trials, Metabocal proved to be safe and effective individuals. CSP was an international healthcare company with a focus on developing, manufacturing, and marketing products that treat metabolic disorders, gastrointestinal diseases, immune deficiencies, as well as other chronic and acute medical conditions. The company captured over $25 billion in sales in 2007. PrintUp had over 20 years of experience marketing prescription campaigns and had just concluded work on Zimistat, CSP's most successful product launch to date. Final FDA approval for Metabocal was expected in the coming year, and the product launch was scheduled for January 2009. It was now February 2008, and PrintUp's first order of business was to develop a viable positioning strategy and associated marketing communications plan for Metabocal. Overweight adults in the U.S. Researchers and healthcare professionals measure excess weight using the Body Mass Index scale, the BMI scale, which calculates the relationship between weight and height associated with body fat and health risk is appropriate for both men and women. It has 3 BMI categories of excess weight for adults: overweight, obese, and severely or morbidly obese. Health and social issues. Excess weight is considered a public health crisis in the U.S., with approximately 65% of the entire adult population categorized as overweight, obese, or severely obese. Being overweight is related to a number of serious health complications, and according to the American Obesity Association in 2005, the second leading cause of preventable death in the U.S. In addition to health risks, overweight individuals endure a significant social stigma as well as outright discrimination. Laziness and self-indulgence are common stereotypes associated with this group. Many overweight people feel like social outcasts. The professional life of an overweight individual could also be negatively affected, as excess weight has been found to adversely influence hiring decisions, wages, and promotions. Weight loss drugs. No prescription drug options specifically for the overweight segment, BMI of 25 to 30, were available in 2008. Although a plethora of over-the-counter weight loss drugs existed, only the OTC drug Ali had been approved by the FDA for the weight loss use. Ali was a reduced-strength version of the prescription drug Xenical. Ali users took 1 pill with each meal. Negative side effects of the drug drug included gastrointestinal conditions such as loose stools, increased defecation, incontinence, and abdominal pain. These side effects worsened when the patient's diet included too much fat. Other more serious side effects of Alienzenical were also being investigated. Printup had recently learned that FDA regulators were reviewing over 30 reports of liver damage, including 6 cases of liver failure in patients who had taken Alienzenical between 1999 and 2008. All other OTC weight loss solutions, conjugated linoleic acid, chitosan, bitter orange, etc., were categorized as herbal or dietary supplements by the FDA and were therefore unregulated by the agency. The drug industry faced several safety concerns with regard to weight loss drugs and had been accused of deceptive marketing claims that dampened enthusiasm for the products.
I made a base.
At the end of the day, everything needs to be cleaned up. That's your chore for the day. Given that herbal remedies and dietary supplements do not require stringent FDA testing and approval, health complications from the use might not be discovered until after the product hit the market. In one high-profile example, the dietary supplement ephedra was linked to several cases of sudden cardiac death and other serious health risks. Consequently, the FDA instituted an outright ban on the purchase or sale of ephedra. Deceptive marketing claims also hurt industry credibility. In early 2007, the Federal Trade Commission required manufacturers of popular OTC weight loss drugs Trimspa, Zenadrin, EFX, Cortislim, and One a Day, Weight Smart, to pay $25 million to settle allegations that the product's weight loss claims were unsubstantiated. CSP believed that its prescription drug, Metapical, was far superior to any weight loss solution on the market at the time. Metapical. CSP's Metapical would be the first prescription drug approved by the FDA specifically for overweight individuals. Researchers at CSP created a drug that combined a new appetite-suppressant compound, Calocera, with a revolutionary fat-blocking and calorie absorption agent, melatonin. The combination of Calocera and melatonin produced dramatic weight loss for overweight individuals, heart or liver functions that other weight loss drugs tended to produce. Metapical also contained a control-release feature that required only one pill be taken per day. Negative side effects of the drug occurred when users consumed high levels of fat and calories. These side effects were similar to the gastrointestinal discomfort caused by Ali, only less severe. Clinical trials proved Metapical to be effective in achieving significant weight loss for overweight individuals. The majority of trial participants reached their weight loss goals by week 12. These studies revealed that overweight individuals' BMIs of 28 to 30 lost an average of 26 pounds when taking Metapical, compared with an average loss of 6 pounds for patients within the same BMI range who took a placebo. For participants with BMIs of 25 to 28, weight loss averaged to 15 pounds for Metapical users versus an average of 2 pounds for those in the control group. Because Metapical had a few negative side effects associated with excess fat and calories in their eating habits, on average, individuals who took Metapical maintained for 3 years weight loss levels within 10% of what the clinical trial participants had experienced. Metapical's formulation was not very effective in helping individuals with BMIs of 30 or greater lose weight and was therefore not recommended for this group. Although pricing had not been finalized, CSP estimated the retail price for the drug would be approximately $3 to $5 per day, with the average course of treatment lasting 12 anti-obesity drugs from coverage. The majority of weight loss drugs were purchased by patients out of pocket without reimbursement from health insurance carriers. Initial reports confirmed that few prescription drug plans would cover the cost of Metapical. Printup had been thinking about a campaign to persuade managed healthcare plans to include Metapical in their prescription drug programs. However, she planned to review the first 6 months of sales data before taking that step. Support program. CSP planned to create a comprehensive support program to complement the Metapical pill. Its goal was to enable individuals to achieve better results than they would from the pill alone. In addition, the support program would teach lifestyle skills for healthy weight maintenance after the initial weight loss was achieved. CSP expected to spend $200,000 on the development of the support program, and year one costs associated with producing the program were expected to be $2 million. In total, the program was estimated to account for just under 10% of the total year one marketing budget. The support program would include reference materials, online weight controls, e.g. weight loss tracker, food diary, nutritional and calorie calculator, personal support, community forums, meal plan, P's and exercise plans, weight training and cardio, routines of less than 20 minutes per day. Although OTC Drug Alley also had an online support program, CSP intended to make its Metapical support program more comprehensive by giving users access to it for 24 months. The support program had not been included in the extensive FDA clinical trial testing. As a result, studies had not yet measured the impact it would have on the product's efficacy. However, Printup surmised it would significantly enhance the ability of Metapical users to reach and maintain their weight loss goals. The lingering question was how she would highlight the support program within the communication strategy. Market research. Between 1976 and 2000, the U.S. experienced an alarming rise in the number of overweight and obese adults. By 2000, 34% of the population was considered overweight, another 25.8% were classified as obese, and an additional 4.7% fell into the severely obese category. The percentage of the U.S. adult population that was overweight increased steadily with age for both men and women, with the highest incidence among men aged 65 to 74 and women aged 55 to 64. The population with less than a high school education had the highest prevalence of obesity. However, excess weight was a problem for all the demographic segments. Exhibit 1 provides a summary of key demographic information. Healthcare providers were enthusiastic about the prospect of a drug that could aid in weight loss and help establish healthier diet and exercise habits. Interviews with healthcare providers revealed one of their top concerns with weight loss drugs was the likelihood that patients would regain weight once they stopped taking the pills. One healthcare provider commented, "Many of my moderately overweight patients need help shedding unhealthy pounds. I see cases of diabetes and heart disease each day that are a direct result of being overweight. I have tried with little success to counsel these patients with diet and exercise plans. I am pleased that Metapical will provide these patients with assistance in reaching a healthy target weight. However, taking a pill each day is not a long-term solution. I am impressed with the tools and customized action plans provided in the proposed support program. All this helps with behavior modification and increases the chances that the weight loss will be maintained once the drug regimen is completed." Results from an extensive marketing survey of overweight individuals commissioned by CSP in 2007 revealed considerable interest from the overweight market as well. Over 70% of the respondents indicated that they were dissatisfied with the current weight. In addition, 35% of respondents were actively trying to lose weight, and 15% of the people in that subsegment were comfortable using drugs to help reach their weight loss goals. When survey participants were asked specifically about a prescription weight loss drug for overweight individuals, 12% said they would immediately make an appointment with their healthcare provider and request a prescription. Additional survey results are shown in Exhibit 2. PrintUp also commissioned a study to analyze psychographic segmentation of overweight individuals. The study revealed a wide variety of attitudes toward physical activity, portion control, food preferences, nutrition, self-image, and overall health. Gender played a significant role in shaping life views on weight and body image. Women demonstrated the most distinct segmentation and clustered around 5 discrete psychographic profiles. Furthermore, the February 2008 focus group produced valuable insight into the struggles of overweight individuals. A common theme was the dissatisfaction with current weight loss options and the desire for a proven and safe way to drop excess weight. Focus group participants expressed the desire for a prescription strength drug with FDA approval and clinical results to back up weight loss claims. The communication strategy of a prescription weight loss drug such as Metapical had to address all participants in the decision-making process. PrintUp's plan focused heavily on both the end consumer, the patient, and the healthcare providers who would be prescribing the medication. Compliance, example given taking the pills each day, refilling prescription, and supplementing the drug with a reasonable diet and exercise regimen, was also an important part of Metapical's success, and PrintUp wanted to make sure her marketing communication strategy addressed these post-purchase activities. The initial Metapical marketing launch budget, shown in Exhibit 4, was based on CSP's most recent drug launch. PrintUp used this as a starting point and intended to fine-tune the estimates to reflect appropriate levels of spending for Metapical. In addition, PrintUp planned to conduct comprehensive testing of the advertising and promotion campaigns throughout the first year. Using the feedback from this analysis, she would adjust the budget accordingly. Advertising. Direct-to-consumer advertising was somewhat of a new phenomenon in the drug industry. In 1997, the FDA introduced guidelines that opened the floodgates to the ubiquitous drug advertisements the public would become accustomed to by 2008. PrintUp's strategy included a DTC, television, online, radio, and print media blitz at the time of the drug's launch and heavy advertising throughout the first year to establish the Metapical name. PrintUp believed that over half of the total year one marketing budget should be dedicated to DTC advertising. Patients' knowledge and awareness of Metapical was her number one priority. CSP's advertising agency had provided 3 initial concepts for the DTC ads. Losing weight is tough. You don't have to do it alone. Let Metapical and your healthcare provider start you on the road to a healthy weight and better life. Look your best. Shed excess pounds with Metapical and discover a healthier, happier, more attractive you. Metapical, all you need to succeed. Those extra 20 pounds could be killing you. Being overweight leads to heart disease, high blood pressure, diabetes, and gallbladder disease. It's time to get healthy. Metapical can help. PrintUp also considered featuring a well-known celebrity endorser, publicly known to have struggled with her weight in the DTC ads. Celebrity spokespeople were quite common in the weight control industry, Valerie Bertinelli for Jenny Craig, and were becoming more mainstream with prescription drugs. Example given Sally Field for Beniva. In fact, many industry observers credit Sally Field's endorsement of Beniva for the drug's success with a much less expensive generic medication, alendronate, which was proven to be equally effective. Senior executives initially balked at the celebrity spokesperson idea, so the current marketing budget did not include funds for this marketing tactic. Metapical's advertising strategy also needed to target the professional medical community. This part of the campaign would include print ads in leading medical publications, example given Journal of the American Medical Association, and interactive ads adjacent to online physician resource information, example given PDR.net, to raise awareness about the drug and its benefits. PrintUp planned to run the advertising heavily during these 3 months leading up to the drug's launch, and then steadily throughout the first year. This push advertising was much more modest, with PrintUp estimating it at less than 5% of the total marketing budget. CSP's advertising agency had also developed these 3 different advertising concepts aimed at healthcare professionals. Give your overweight patients a safe alternative to fat diets and dangerous OTC drugs, introducing Metapical, a clinically proven weight loss drug. Atherosclerosis, coronary artery disease, high blood pressure, diabetics, and gallbladder disease. Your overweight patients are dying for help. Introduce Metapical, FDA-approved weight loss drug. Empower your patients to lose excess weight, change their unhealthy eating habits, and achieve long-term success. Introducing Metapical, short-term drug therapy and comprehensive support program for overweight patients. It gets results. Promotion and public relations. The promotion budget also included campaigns aimed at both the healthcare providers and the end consumers. Approximately $1.3 million was currently earmarked for these promotional activities in year 1. CSP's previous promotion strategy had always included a direct mail campaign. Before the Metapical launch, PrintUp had planned a mailing for 100,000 healthcare providers, which included an informational pamphlet about the drug and a reply card offering a sample of the support program. In addition, PrintUp developed a viral marketing campaign, the Metapical Challenge, which was to coincide with the drug's launch. The Metapical Challenge would be an online contest in which Metapical users would have the chance to compete to see who could reduce their BMIs by the highest percentage. PrintUp also planned to use social networking sites and contestant blogs to create buzz about Metapical. If done correctly, social and viral marketing had the potential to be an extremely valuable, cost-effective medium. However, PrintUp had little experience with social media, and she wondered about the most effective way to utilize this mixed element and how large a role it should play in the communication strategy. Public relations efforts would include not only well-timed pre-launch and at-launch press releases, but also 2 high-profile medical education events and a series of podcasts aimed at physicians. The first event, which was to occur 1 month before the drug's launch, would be a roundtable discussion involving prominent thought leaders in the medical community. PrintUp had discussed coverage of this event with several leading news organizations. The second event would be a medical research symposium that was open to members of the media and to the medical professionals. This event would occur the same week as the drug's launch. Leading medical researchers in cardiology, diabetes, gastroenterology, depression therapy, and oncology had already committed to serve as the keynote speakers, and a series of breakout sessions focusing on health issues for overweight patients were scheduled. PrintUp estimated approximately $4.3 million would be spent in total on public relations activities in the first year. Salesforce. A CSP sales team responsible for 2 gastrointestinal drugs was directed to detail Metabocal to healthcare providers in their territories and added to their existing portfolios. PrintUp planned to work with the director of sales for this team to develop sales scripts and presentations providing clinical information. For established drugs, CSP sales reps typically visited targeted medical offices 4 times a year to discuss the drug and provide samples. In the past, CSP sales rep who sponsored promotional lunch and learn seminars for healthcare providers received great feedback. These lunchtime presentations focused on information about the featured drug. CSP sales reps believed that healthcare providers and office staff usually came for the free food, but it was a great opportunity to learn more about the provider's practices and to share information about the drug in a relaxed setting. PrintUp still had to decide how she would best utilize the sales force that had been allocated to Metabocal. The Metabocal sales team consisted of 32 sales representatives who called on approximately 3,200 medical offices. These reps focused on offices that were the most geographically accessible and responsive to drug rep visits. Each CSP sales representative visited 4 practices per day on average. Conclusion. PrintUp sat in her office staring at a blank legal pad. At the top, she circled and underlined the figures 10 years and $400 million. These represented how much time and money CSP had spent in R&D and on FDA trials for Metabocal. PrintUp was well aware that in order to recoup this massive investment, the drug needed not only a successful launch, but also long-term steady demand. Although all the medical studies and consumer research showed great promise for Metabocal, PrintUp knew that poor positioning of the drug could spell disaster. If Metabocal were not successful with initial customers, credibility of the drug would be in question and FDA approval would mean little. CSP would have about 10 years of exclusivity once Metabocal hit the market before generic versions could be manufactured. Ensuring the longevity of Metabocal and avoiding being pigeonholed as a fad diet cure were at the top of PrintUp's agenda. PrintUp had been vying for a coveted VP position in CSP's corporate marketing group. She was told that if the Metabocal launch was successful, she would be rewarded with this promotion. PrintUp still needed to flesh out the optimal segmentation, targeting, and positioning of the drug. She could then move